How did you get over suicidal thoughts? Serious? I got help. I have a great GP now, who knows quite a bit about mental health. I went to therapy, I am taking antidepressants, I took Xanax for a while too. I have an emergency pill just in case. It's a pill kinda like the Xanax, but it knocks me out for the day. If I feel very bad, I take one. My GP makes sure that I know that if I take all my meds at once, I won't die, but just sleep for a while. Therapy helped tons, the meds too. I tried meditation and it helps pushing your thoughts away. I also changed my life around. I moved countries. But it doesn't need to be like that. I am recently dating an amazing guy, this helps tons. I am eating sweets too often. I try to get this lower, but it's hard. Get your serotonin. PM me if you have questions or want to talk. Honestly, I spent years in therapy with different therapists, but it was a trauma-trained one that helped me move on. The main thing that helped though was making a conscious decision to find things to be thankful for. Even just the little things like waking up in the morning or a sunny day. The more you focus on the positives, the less dark the world seems and the more rich your life becomes until it actually feels like it's worth living. Edit, words. I pulled the trigger and the old Russian round I had in the chamber misfired. I still think about offing myself, but I've never gotten that close since. I'm tired of trying so hard just to fail again and again, regardless of how hard I work. I just wish I could be at the right place at the right time for once in my life. Smoke weed. It's a long, hard and very painful journey. For me, there never was any one moment where I decided I wanted to live. It just got a little easier every day. My therapist taught me a neat thing to do. Thought redirection. My therapist believes that you should always try to take responsibility, and even though medication helps and stuff, you should still fight from within yourself. You're always going to have thoughts of suicide ideation. They may come and go though. But when they do come, you just focus on something else. Don't allow your mind to dwell on the thoughts of suicide. Just start thinking about anything else. I try to think about things that don't have anything to do with my depression, like my dog or TV shows or books or something. I have been fighting these thoughts for a while now, but I just try to think about how tomorrow could be the best day in my life and somehow turn things around. I'm hoping for myself and anyone with these thoughts that tomorrow is that day. Other people's stupid inputs. Memes. Not a joke. When I met someone more suicidal than me. Then we started dating. Then I recovered from that episode, his is chronic. Can't handle it anymore, called it quits. Don't search for your missing pieces in somebody else's unresolved puzzle. Honestly, by reminding myself that there would always be someone saddened by my death. If times ever got too tough, even if it was a complete stranger that I'd only interacted with for a short while, if I realized there would be some way in which they'd find out, it would stop me from going the extra mile. I don't know what I would do without my support group. I remind myself of this almost daily. Every day you don't give in to the thoughts, you beat death at its own game. You're flipping off the Reaper as it stares you in the face. You won today. Every day that it sucks and you just want everything to end, but you grit your teeth and say no, you beat one of the most powerful forces in the universe. I can only say from my experience, but you don't get over it 100%, just each day the pain gets less and less until you barely notice it at all. For me, in my heart I knew that my suicidal thoughts are linked to my unhappiness in life. So I focused on that. I just changed my environment, moved to another city, changed job, put myself in a new atmosphere. All of my problems from old settings were replaced with something new, including my suicidal thoughts. In the moment, not wanting to ruin my parents' vacation. In the long run, time. Seriously, a lot of suicidal thoughts in my experience are very impulsive. And they do go away. Instead of thinking about it daily, it hasn't even crossed my mind for a few years now, with the exception of one extreme situation, got fired. I realized that I wouldn't be able to see anyone's reactions to it. I don't know how to describe it honestly. I was depressed for so long. One day I just said that I was done with it and just kinda started moving forward, made new friends, good ones that would have my back. I am much happier now, but I still think of suicide every day just about. But I'm happy, so it confuses me because I consider it as an option even with the slightest amount of stress or anything. It sucks, but no matter what I just can't kick it out of my mind entirely that hey, this is an option. There is just so much going on that I can't help it. When I get stressed I figure it would be easier to end it all. I know that it isn't really an option and I don't ever want it, but I daydream of it almost constantly even when I'm feeling good. I read from a comment here no less that if you are suicidal in a developmental stage, for me it was 16 to 18, that it kinda sticks in your mind, which it does for me. I don't know what I can do and I don't know why I am rambling. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry I didn't answer the question properly, but I needed to let out a little bit. I rarely do. The fact that nothingness is inevitable, so it's pretty pointless to rush it. I actually decided that I care too much about things, and so I decided that nothing matters and everything is worthless. It helped a lot. I felt happy and relieved. However, jump a few years to now, I think I've forcefully developed a mental disorder, because I cannot for the life of me feel emotions toward anything. The biggest thing is that I can't feel sorry for people. My great-grandfather died very recently and my mom is taking it pretty hard. She expected me to say something after I found out about his death, but nothing I can say would be sincere or even sound sincere. Don't take the path I did unless you're okay without emotion. I take a nap. Seriously. I usually exhaust myself when I'm depressed and suicidal. So I get in bed, bury myself under the blankets, and go to sleep. I always feel better when I wake up, in the sense that suicide isn't on my mind anymore. I learned to identify the thoughts that were coming from my imbalanced brain, thoughts that literally felt like a person whispering cruel things into my ear like possession, as not being core components of my personality and therefore okay to eliminate. The self-deprecating thoughts coming from that unbalanced place in my brain would always eventually lead to suicidal thoughts. Then, the steps that got me to this place. Attended a suicide prevention awareness seminar offered by my workplace by the Assist program. The focus of the seminar was for intervening in another person's suicide, but the tools and tips applied to intervening in my own suicidal thoughts too. Because of the Assist training, I knew this was an important step, so I finally got up the courage to vocalize my thoughts to someone I trusted. It was mortifying. But, that person was then very persistent in getting me medical care. Medical care. I am very lucky to be able to currently manage my mental health without a prescription. And I only say lucky because I hate the side effect waltz of finding perfect dosages / different drug combos. I want to make sure I'm stressing that taking medicine for mental health is awesome and not shameful. And I constantly practice the mental tools that my counselor and I have discovered work to break the cycle of my suicidal thoughts. I manage my mental health like it's my job. I track my mood and try to identify and remove environmental stressors before they get too overwhelming. And if I know I'm going to be going through some big changes, I get an appointment with counselor on the calendar. Keeping me alive is my #1 priority. Call the suicide hotline, 1-800-273-8255, US. Seriously. I call when I am having overwhelming thoughts of suicide. This is the quick fix get over for me. I always schedule an appointment as soon as possible after one of these calls. www.reddit.com/r/suicidewatch/. Don't underestimate diet and exercise. I always have been a bit depressed, had a lot of bad things going on for a very long time, but it's incredible how taking a few vitamins supplement and a bit of exercise help. Now I usually take a vitamin supplement like a week every month, along with a change in my life, and is helping a lot. Besides, I don't know how old are you, but when you are younger it's much easier to have them. I remember it was almost a constant obsession when I was 16 to 24. I even tried to close myself in a garage with the engine turned on one time, But lucky for me I was stupid enough and didn't close all the gaps. Smile. Now I'm 36 years old, and the thought of suicide only barely comes to surface every now and then. Even then it's not very hard for me to stop thinking on it. Even when I was still living in a bad situation for over 10 years. When I was over 30 years old or more, the thoughts were less strong. Other than that, know good people, be with good people, leave the caustics ones without even blink an eye. Do what you like to do and try to understand yourself. Usual stuff, you know. Smile. Hope everything will be better, just remember that patience is key.